Alright, so this is part 2 of the video. I know it's going to be too soft, but anyway, I went to that garage sale, and you'll see it on my garage sale video. The awesome thing about that garage sale was the entire garage on the inside. He had refurbished old gasoline, exterior gasoline station tanks, and amazing job he did. I don't know what he does for a living, but obviously when you live in a multi-million-dollar home, probably worth about $5 million, and he's got one of those I don't know what it is, but he's got one of those racing boats in his garage that can go over 100 and so miles an hour. And I see remnants of the fish that were here. There's fish everywhere. Anyway, this garage sale, all these model airplanes and stuff we were talking about. There used to be an exhibit down on Nancy Drive down in Naples, where all the other gun shops are. And the amazing thing about it was that all those models, the guy who owned that store did it just as a hobby for fun. And when he died, which was probably recently, they got rid of all the models. They closed the store, everything. And then there was also in Cape Coral, around Cape Coral Parkway, there was a military museum. I was there. They were selling a lot of models. I didn't have a chance to buy any because they were kind of expensive, and some of them were slightly broken. But they lost their lease and were thrown out of there. So that's sad. But he didn't get any of his models from there. All the models, he said, were donated. So he said he worked on one or two of them, but the rest of them were all given to him. And he had hundreds of model airplanes. And I was looking for tanks because I used to make tanks too. But when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old in New Jersey, what are you going to do? I mean, you're inside half the year because it's cold outside. All right, so right now, it's still about 65 degrees out. There is a breeze from the north. It's blowing. It is kind of chilly. Bicycling, heading north into the breeze. The tide is kind of high, but the beach right now is pretty good. I want to test my bicycle tire. This is a new tire I bought from Walmart, and I have a slime inner tube tire inside of it. It's pumped up at 65 pounds. I'm trying not to bicycle on top of the seashells. This part of the beach has a nice slope to it, and the tide's out a little bit, which makes for good bicycling because a lot of the seashells, except for this little pile, they have a tendency of following the surf, so they leave a portion of the beach that's shell-free. And I'm just taking a look here at the beach. Because I was bicycling on the beach, I wanted to show it to everyone because I haven't bicycled on the beach in a while because the tide has been way too high. And the tide looks like it's going, oh my God, I just saw a horseshoe crab. Normally you find them in New Jersey on the beach, in cold water. It's rare you find them now. Huh, that's amazing. I saw one here. I'm starting to see a lot of seashells again. So probably the red tide or whatever the fish kill was, it kept a lot of the shell pickers away. I'm seeing a lot of good looking seashells here. So if you need to fill a shell lamp or make shell crafts, there's tons of fighting conchs. I'm seeing pen shells, I'm seeing heart cockles, and a lot of good shells to make crafts with. And of course all the other shells, olives and tulips. Nice. Whelks. Plus I got my eye on this property. So this is the back side of one of these properties I was looking at. You can see where they put when they put the plywood, that's where the water got in. So the first and second story, even the top floor I see. So they probably lost some roof. So this building, because they lost the roof, you don't know how much of the structure was compromised on the inside. You would need to do a full analysis, interior analysis. You just can't make a blind bid. A lot of people are just buying this property under assumptions, and they're guessing and making they're factoring in a problem, but I don't know. There could be more than meets the eye. You have to literally go in there and investigate. Like this property here on the right-hand side, I see two corner pieces where the lanai area was blown in. That's steel that was snapped. So if that steel was snapped like that, and the ground floor and the floor number 1 totally destroyed, I don't know. It could be a little bit more money you want to spend. If they use thin steel like that, I witnessed Santa Barbara Arms West. They had to pay over $1 million to fix their steel, and that only lasted until the next hurricane. And they had to fix it again, and they were using cheap thin steel. For my lanai, I got thick steel, and I'm grinding and welding that. That's fun, actually. I actually like it. A programmer now likes welding. Oh, amazing. So here's the property I was looking at. It's ready to make a casino out of it. I don't know if it's big enough. It's probably not big enough. But again, with a casino, it doesn't matter. Once you start earning money, you start buying up all the property around you. I can see obviously the ground floor is wide open. Whatever was there is gone. The first floor is all boarded up. So that obviously was destroyed. Second floor, I see evidence that there was issues there. Most of the evidence it's not apparent. So you have to go in. The top floor, I don't see any evidence of. I see some screen lanai damage and stuff, but I don't see any evidence of roof collapse, at least on this side. I know there is some roof collapse on the Acero Boulevard side. Alright, so here's the area where they're sifting rock, removing the sand, and they're dumping some of the sand back on the beach, which is kind of nice. So the dump trucks are piled up here next to the beach to dump it out, and then the bulldozer smooths it out. This area of the beach is probably the thinnest of all Fort Myers Beach. So it's kind of nice that they're dumping the sand here. See this on the right-hand side, this lime green building, the ground floor obviously got devastated. The first floor really got hit hard. But above that, it doesn't look too bad. I see some of the windows are open, though, on the second floor, which means they probably got some water damage in there, too. Like this building over here is too small on the right-hand side. Obviously, there's nothing on the left-hand side. I'm not going to stop at the church. If they don't have that soda I like, then there's no point in stopping. The wind, it seems like I'm hitting a 2-mile-per-hour headwind. That's not too bad. It's like the wind has changed more from a northerly wind to a northeasterly wind, so it's coming at me at my side now. So I'm not really going directly into it, but it is coming. I am going into it on my side, coming from my right side. See that light green structure there? It's high enough that the first floor still probably got some water, but they fixed it already. Ready to rent. 20 feet. That's 22 feet would have been perfect, but 20 feet was pretty much the level of water down here. 20 feet above mean high tide. That's what I'm talking about. So you have a 12-foot surf plus a 7-foot wave on top of mean high tide. 12 plus 7 is 19. And as long as your doors, your sliders could seal correctly and could handle a slight little tiny wave hitting it without breaking, then that level was saved from destruction. All it takes is one wave going through, and your floor is toast. All the electronics, all the carpeting, you gotta rip all that out. Drywall, possibly tile. If you got linoleum, forget that. That linoleum is gone instantly. can't just mop that stuff up. That will stink forever. Carpeting as well. I mean, people get that low-riding carpet and say, you know what? I'll just put those cleaning granules in it and do it 5 or 6 times. Oh, nope. You cannot get fish diesel oil, salt water smell out of it. It'll never come out. You gotta just scrape it up. And then from that point forward, you have concrete floors. If you do have concrete floors, hopefully not wooden. But if you have wooden floors, bingo. To me, that'd be a total building, but concrete floors, you're gonna put a tile floor on. You know, some people, if they don't have much going on, and could even put that garage floor down on over concrete, that actually is not a bad idea. It's easy to clean. You bring a pressure washer inside and pressure wash your floors. Of course, only if you have, if this area was hit with a hurricane every year, that'd be the way to go, because you don't want tile popping up. The cost of a tile or a laid tile, forget it. So passing the church gives up the free water. They had plenty of water, it was all warm. So I got 2 frozen water bottles in the car. I gotta make a pit stop at Walmart on my way home. I have to buy a battery for my remote control for my car. It's not all the way drained, but you know, it's showing signs of being drained. If I can't open my doors 30 yards away from my car, I'm pissed. So the key is to find a house down here that people are willing to sell you cheap, that's still intact, no problems with it. Turnkey that you can rent it out. There's a lot of people from Europe with money, and they want to get out of Europe. They have a feeling that World War III is going to, once Russia is finished with Ukraine, especially Poland, possibly Romania is next, and the countries that support Russia, which could be Austria, Hungary, Serbia, Bulgaria, Greece, they, and any country bordering them, is also suspect, which puts almost 2/3 of Europe in jeopardy. And of course the Baltic states are the most critical of Russia, so it all depends who wins. Morning. So those Europeans want to come down here, you got to have something for them to rent, because they're going to come down here with a boatload of money. They're going to rent first for 2 or 3 months, probably in the summertime. It's probably going to take them a little while to liquidate their assets. They're probably doing that right now in Europe, liquidating it before because the banking scandal is affecting Europe big time right now. So they're probably liquidating. They're going to sell the real estate too, because once banks start collapsing, the real estate prices will collapse if you can't finance. And no one wants to sell or finance. Forget that. That's like an American thing. In Europe, forget it. No, they don't do that. So they're probably selling, getting big suitcases, jumping on cargo ships with all their gold and suitcases full of money. All right, this is fresh catch up here. It used to be Junkaroo on the right-hand side. Again, that has a big, bold red sticker on the outside of it, and I can see that they are starting to demolish it. Sad. It's a wooden structure. So, what are you gonna do? And here's the Fort Myers Beach RV. So, see, America had its war. This is World War III. We already had it, and it was 6 months ago. And you know, we're recovering. It's sad that people, especially the guy who just died, who owned the Red Coconut RV park here. That's sad, tragic story. But you know, long story short, it was bought out by someone who knows. And the police seem to enjoy their new private residence on the beach. They used to be at Lynn Hall Park, but who could resist having a wide open beach like that, private, you know? There's no need for Lynn Hall Park anymore. These buildings coming up to the right, they survive pretty good. So we're coming into some human civilization here. Amazing. See, because of the clouds, no one really wants to venture into the water. Hello. So the beach has a slight fishy smell, but nowhere as near horrible as it was that time I was here. And that's a good thing to know. So the fish smell, when there's huge die-offs like that, they only happen for about a week or two. And as long as you don't stay outside that much, you know, it's tolerable now. I mean, it's not bad at all, I should say. It's almost as if it's like down to the level of beach smell it was before the die-off. Here's a house. It's hard to see, but this house right next to the blue house, that wall popped out a bit. You can barely see it from this angle. But a wave must have went inside the house and bowed that wall out. Yeah, that house has to come down because the roof, you can see that the chimney is bent a little bit. But the blue house next to it, it looks like they already renovated it. Besides the railing being destroyed and one piece of aluminum roof gone, the house behind it, it got hit hard too, but not as hard as this house in the front. That building right there, that looks like it survived pretty well. The first floor, and it looks like there's like a half a floor above it in the foundation. There's a problem with that foundation. So, and that building over there, that one over there, the first floor and second floor took a serious hit. So that's the problem. If you own a condo, if your condo is on the top floor, you survive. But if the building or the structure now is in peril, guess what? You lost everything too. It doesn't matter that your unit survived, you lost everything. So you really have to consider, when you own a condo or a timeshare, a worst case scenario. And you know, worst case scenario is don't buy a condo here, buy it in Myrtle Beach. I don't know, you know. Myrtle Beach got hit with a hurricane too. All these. It seems like the closer we get to the north end of the island here, the more severe the destruction was. People were saying it was worse on the south side of the island. I think the same amount of destruction happened on the south side. Fort Myers Beach is uniformly destroyed, but there is a little area, like I was showing you, on the north side of the island, where the more open space you see, the bigger the devastation was. And even in the middle of Fort Myers Beach, near Hibiscus, you see a lot of fifth wheels there, but you don't see homes. But everything was at build out, so there were homes there. Those were wiped out. So if you see a lot of homes up in this area, that's a sign of hopium, or at least the homes were built better to code up here, or at least better to withstand a hurricane. The code up here is just totally wonky. If contractors build it to code, rest assured your home is not going to get destroyed during a hurricane. You have to build it to 100, 200 mile per hour winds and surf. That's you have to have 20 feet high and walls that can sustain a freight train hitting you. You can't do that, forget it. This hotel on the right hand side, this big one, it's built in a time where concrete was cheap and they could build hotels really cheap. And for the most part, the roof made out of, looks like aluminum, but it's going to cost about $200,000 to do a refitting, at least $200,000, maybe $300,000. And I'm not including the pool or the parking lot. I'm just talking about the building structure. So here's Diamond Head. They still haven't fully repaired everything on their beach side. I see a lot of temporary wooden railings You know, they had a lot more glass here. It was a lot more fancy. And I see some of their lanai railings and some of their floors are bent. So whether it be high wind or a marauding wave made it up there, I don't know. But at least the building's open for business, and that's good because you need to be open to make that cash flow. Okay, I saw two people on the beach. That's amazing. Well, I don't even know how you get to the beach with Diamond Head. It's all like fenced off. You have to navigate something there. The beach is still about 30 yards longer and about 2 feet higher than it was before the storm. So that's a good thing though, because all that sand that for the last 50 years washed offshore with successive hurricanes, Ian pulled all that sand back in one storm. So you can see that one hurricane can form a new set of Florida Keys instantly. See, here's people playing on the beach here. I don't know how they got there. They had to have come through that they must be parked over there or live down those roads. But they're on the beach, which is amazing. I see a lot of seaweed here, so I guess with the fish kill comes the seaweed kill. And I still see evidence of a lot of dead fish, but at least the seagulls have eaten their fill and it's not smelling anymore. Probably the crabs that come out at night, they eat it. I see a lot of seagulls are chowing down on some of these, not mollusks, but they're a lot of the live shells. They're just eating them whole. You know, why try to break a shell in half when you just eat the whole thing and swallow it? Oh, there's the in the water. You can see it right on the left-hand side. There was a pirate ship that was completely destroyed. That's it, right there, straight ahead. That's the pirate ship. So they're doing pirate cruises. And normally when they go in front of the pier here, they fire their cannons. You can see Sanibel in the background there. Straight ahead, the lighthouse is still standing, but the caretaker cottage was completely destroyed. And then they had some kind of work garages behind that. And they were made out of concrete block and stucco. They were wiped out too. So for the lighthouse to survive, and that was made out of copper and steel posts. That's amazing. We're going towards that pirate ship. I thought the pirate ship was doomed, but it's still there. There's a dog having fun on the beach. How he was like rolling around. One of those shag doodles. See, the pirate ship is going out, so they must have a full boat. And that's good too, because the pirate ship, you know, if you charge $30 a person, you have 100 people on the boat. That's just, you're getting $3,000 just in a 4-hour cruise. I'm not saying it's paying for all your gas, but you sell them some food, you sell them some souvenirs, you sell them pictures. You could probably double that to $6,000 on an outing. And fuel is only $1,000, and the labor is only another $1,000. You're doing okay. Now here's the Lana Kai. You can see that the ground floor is still wiped out. It's still roped off. They're not renting this facility at all. Which is sad because this should be spring break. And I see young kids are hanging around. When I say young kids, I feel like an old person. You know, they're waiting for spring break to happen. Maybe it happens at night here, I don't know. But I think there's still a curfew after 12 midnight. Which is another problem. If you have a curfew, that kills spring break. Spring break just gets started at 12 midnight. Yeah, I see the ground floor, the first floor, and some parts of the second floor of the Lana Kai are still in various stages of renovation. Definitely the ground floor is toast. The first floor looks like it's completely toast as well. And the second floor, I can still see tons of renovation going on. Yeah, that's the pirate ship. You can see it now. Amazing. It is getting kind of windy and kind of chilly here. Again, it's about 65 maybe. Somewhere between 62 and 65. The wind is, now it feels like 62. Wind's blowing. like the tide's going out. Alright, so this is Margaritaville, and it's a beach resort. The pirate ship was riding high on the water, now it's riding low on the water. It's kind of weird. It must be going over a sandbar or something. I can see on the Sanibel Causeway there's a lot of cranes over there, so they're still dredging the straits of the causeway, I guess, channels between the islands. That pirate ship looks full. It's pretty cool. I wonder where their dock is. I wonder if they're downtown Fort Myers or whether they're in the yacht basin of Cape Coral. I didn't see them in Fort Myers Beach. Well, maybe they are in Fort Myers. They gotta be in Fort Myers Beach. We're passing again Margaritaville. And the beach in that area is really high. It used to be volleyball and I don't think what else they had here. Some kind of a swing ball hit, and they had some modern style tikis here. No, don't have them no more. Now this beach is losing some sand. It used to go out. So the sand in this area is washing away. It used to go out another 20 yards. And I can see that there's a lot of erosion going on here. So this area, at the storm, the beach here was 30 yards further out to sea, out to the left. But now I'm coming up upon Pier 1, and I see a lot of beaches missing. There's at low tide, the beach was out, kind of like where I'm bicycling now. Go out, not that post there, but that post. That's how far out the beach was at high tide. So it's lost some beach. Oh, I should have done that. All right. Well, this is what Pier 1 was. And no more. People breathing. So they just put their tumble down. I know, they couldn't. So they're getting ready to go. Well, some people are still hanging out here. And then here's Lynn Hall Park on the right hand side. And then the beach bathrooms. They're slowly coming apart. Someone put a big heart on it. But the nice thing is you can park here for free. So that's what you need, and 7-Eleven should really, this is the perfect opportunity to rebuild. They should rebuild right now, and everyone would be using their bathrooms and buying Slurpees. And beer and everything else. We'll see how things go all the way down to Father's Point. But I like how the sand now, the beach used to have to walk up to Lynn Hall Park, and now the sand goes right up to it. So, and I like how there's just breaks in the rope fence. So they're not preventing people from walking. They're not like making a sand dune, like those sand dunes really did anything. They did nothing to stop the hurricane. Absolutely nothing. They should take this broken concrete and make a sand dune with it. I mean, that'd be the smarter thing. They're losing sand on this beach right now. They should take that broken concrete and make some seawalls or a barrier here. That's what they should do. So this beach is losing sand. It's a good thing to know, though, because again, this beach was another 20 yards out. So the sea is reclaiming some of the sand. See, they dumped some sand here because they know that they're losing it. On the south side of the island, though, it looks like they're accumulating more sand. And this is the Best Western hotel I want to buy and make it into a casino. I don't care how much beach it has. People are going to be gambling. Look. You can see the first floor is totally destroyed. The second floor, it's only at 4 stories. 4 stories. So the first floor is totally gone. So you get the ground floor, the first floor, second floor. It looks like they rehabbed it. So the second, the third, the fourth floors are ready to re-rent. But of the, you got 10 times 4 plus 4. Of the 44 rooms, you're missing 22 of them. Or if not 22 of them, you're at least missing 11 of them. So, and the ground floor, who knows if the elevators work. So you're taking a chance. Alright, well, coming up, speed up a little bit. Coming up to the pink shell. Again, the tide's going down, I can tell. So there's a couple people seashelling here. In this area, I don't see that many good seashells. It was the area right where Publix was. That, for today, that was the best area for seashelling. Big seashells are there. And this sand that they're adding to the beach has been sifted so there would not be any hidden shell treasures in it. This is all pure sand. One good thing about the hurricane is it filled in some of these, the old shorelines that were really low, that were just standing water and it caused mosquitoes to breed. So for them to dump sand over here and fill in those, not now, it's evident, but in the summertime, you'll notice a significant decrease in both no-see-em and saltwater mosquitoes. So, right now, this is probably this hurricane actually did help. The lowest amount of mosquitoes I've ever found, because I shouldn't talk, because my pool right now looks like a mosquito breeding ground, although I did suck it dry this morning. I need to go in there and pressure wash it and fix that hole that I tried to fix twice already, but it wasn't good. Alright, so I guess this is as far as I can go. We'll see. I see a couple people on the beach here in front of Pink Shell, so I know they are renting. So that's good. Well, I don't see any easements. I don't see any people up at Bottomless Point, so rest assured that's still closed. Just looking here at the Pink Shell. It's I see an opening right there. I might be able to get to the road. Alright, that's an option. I'm going to have to come back this way. It's totally open. There's no chain link fence blocking the road. Now, overall, the Pink Shell, all the rooms look good. Even the first floor looks like they were raised high enough. They're okay. So, Pink Shell looks good. See, it says now open for lunch. Alright. Looking at the Sanibel Causeway now on the left. So, yeah, there's still a lot of dredging going on in San Carlos Bay. Yeah, they're turning around here, so Bobbush Point is not open. So there's no point in me bicycling in there. I'll just come across a big chain link fence that I can't carry my bicycle over. So we're turning around right now. Alright. It's been it's on my itinerary to come back and film a new garage selling opening video. But I need to film it when there's a lot of waves and no seaweed, because the last one I had okay waves. I need sun too in the morning, but like an early morning sun. I don't want any seaweed. And the water's nice up here. It's almost like summertime wave patterns, because it's pretty benign like this most of the day, and only when there's a thunderstorm out in the Gulf. See, look, the pirate ship made a U-turn. It's coming across Fort Myers Beach. Sometimes the pirate ship, I should say, it would come in front of the Lanikai, fire its cannons. But since the Lanikai is closed, see, there's the pirate ship right there. It doesn't come so close to shore and fire its cannons anymore. That was pretty cool. I like when they fire their cannons. So I could tell that high tide came all the way up here. This is wet sand, right up to here. So probably about 2 hours ago. When I first came to the beach, it was probably right at 11 o'clock. It was probably high tide. I'm looking, I don't see a fence. You gotta be sure on that. That wind is moving between these buildings really strong. Probably 5 mile per hour breeze. They drained it, still drained. Very similar to my swimming pool. I drained my swimming pool like 6 months ago. Still drained. There's some groundwater seeping in, so I know there's a crack. I'm trying to fix it. So hopefully, maybe sometime this week I'll fix it. They drained it. See, they drained it and sealed it. Mine is drained. Still not sealed. Pavers are compromised. Like these pavers here, they withheld pretty good, and that sometimes means that there's an old asphalt driveway beneath it that gave it some support. You know, if you have concrete below or asphalt, or if the pavers are held together with concrete, they'll survive better. Right. Squalls coming in from the north, but I'm seeing rain too. If you can't see the underside of a cloud, or it looks fuzzy, hazy under a cloud, that means it's raining. But in this case, it's probably light misty rain. I saw last night there was heavy rain on radar, but that moved. It kind of blew on through, and that's usually what happens. It didn't really rain. It jumps over Florida and then it starts raining again in the Bahamas. That's kind of what it did. It was raining out in the Gulf. It just about touched the Florida landmass, and it jumped over Florida and started raining in the Bahamas. This time of year, that's when it comes from west to east like that. That's what it does. Unless it's a real powerful northern front, then it will form a long thunderhead all the way down, and then that will zip on by at 15 to 20 miles an hour. The property medic. See, that's the building that I parked next to on Little Estero Island. And I still haven't fixed it. So the property medic, they're fixing up these other buildings, but they haven't fixed up their primary building. Which is pretty sad. I want to buy their primary building. It would cost, well, I wouldn't pay more than $300,000 for the building, because the building it's all wooden like that. I mean, there's so much that needs to get done. Drywall, insulation, ceiling, even the roof needs to be redone. All the electrical, the air conditioning. You know, we're talking minimum to do the inside. If I could do a lot of the work myself, and I'm the general contractor subbing out, we're talking $100,000. Wow. And I still have to be like the general contractor foreman on site, trying to get these lazy contractors to get to work. If I was a contractor, that'd be $200,000. If I contracted it out, I mean, literally. I mean, that's $200,000 for a building that's only worth $200,000. Wow. I mean, right now that building probably would sell for $600,000. But that, again, that was when Fort Myers Beach had 100% occupancy. If you invest in Fort Myers Beach now, you have a 1-year gamble before the occupancy levels, which right now are at 1%, before they get back up to at least 70%. Your value of your property is based on occupancy level. And when all these buildings are closed or wiped out, again, here's the Best Western again. You know, I like this. The pavers survived. Look, they even bought more pavers. So the parking lot is well done. The building itself, except for the first floor and the ground floor. Pool area got wiped out, but who cares about pool area? You got the ocean right there. I like this building a lot. Plus it's got 44 rooms, but the first floor is gone. So if you could sell off the third and fourth floor for $1 million a unit, that's $20 million. So if you buy the property for, let's face it, they ain't gonna let it go cheap. You know, there's probably $56 million, and I ain't gonna cut it. There's no way I could sell a condo, especially now when people see that buying a condo on the fourth floor, it doesn't matter if the first floor is compromised and the building needs to become the structural integrity of the building is compromised. Forget it. The fourth floor is worth nothing, even if it survived the storm. For Hurricane Keith and Hurricane Wilma, and actually it wasn't even Hurricane Keith. It was Tropical Storm Keith in 1988 or 1987. That devastated the first floor. And it didn't leave it didn't suffer the integrity of a lot of the buildings. You had a 5-foot surge. Even Hurricane Charlie had a 7-foot surge. It wasn't that bad, actually. I mean, yeah, if you're on the first floor or the ground floor, I take it, yeah, you suffered. But since the structure of the building wasn't compromised, the upper floors were okay. Hurricane Irma, that was a big storm. And that one took off a lot of roofs. But again, you had maybe a 7-foot surge. So this storm should have been a reenactment of Hurricane Irma. Ian should have just blew by fast and we would have had a 7-foot surge. Unfortunately, it lingered and almost stopped on top of us for 12 hours. That's a problem. I guess we're going to go under the bridge. So now I see the parking lot starting to fill up a little bit. I guess people are going out to dinner. So they'll go for a walk first. They'll probably eat at the Yucatan, one of these restaurants down here. Which reminds me, I gotta put the soup on the boil when I get home. I'm gonna make some bean soup. Right off the sidewalk. People are looking at me like, what are you doing on the sidewalk? So Yucatan, the main building is closed, but the side building is happening, I'm telling you. And people like that, you know, it's a little breezy, but you're outdoors enjoying the air. We don't have the red tide to worry about, so my eyes aren't burning. This Big Dick's just opened. Wow. This place is for rent. Wow. This restaurant. That's amazing. So there is hidden opportunities. If you want to open up just a regular restaurant or business, there's on San Carlos Boulevard here, or Old San Carlos Boulevard is what they call it. You have a lot of opportunities. Now the problem is, again, there's curfew at night, so you're not going to get any business from basically 11 through 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to understand that, and parking is limited. And the people that stay here, like the Harbor House at the end, this place is people are renting it. It is I guess a hotel. So you have people here. And then the Lighthouse Resort is open. So you have people living there too. So this area you do have, and the Snug Park right here, it's rent. Okay, so people are going into this. I thought this place was closed. This place is open. And it's full. There's at least 250 people in there. And Snug Harbor is open too. That's good. See, it's all resort room condominium. This place here. This is Yo Taco World Headquarters. I didn't know that. I didn't know Yo Taco was so big that it had to have a world headquarters. But this is world headquarters. Wow. Must be cheap rent in this area. I should look for a place for my real estate office down here. So Matanzas on the bay, you know, it's a little bit late. That place would have done killer business in this area. The Lighthouse Resort is just north of here. You have Margaritaville going to come online in the summertime. Here at Matanzas Inn, there's a hotel here. It looks like it's open on the left-hand side. It's amazing. They did a great job restoring it. It doesn't look like the pool's any water in it. I could be mistaken. And all these, there used to be buildings all around here. They're all knocked down. But then that's extra parking, which is good. I'm not sure if it's owned by the Lighthouse Resort up here, but a lot of this property was owned by Lighthouse Resort. It's very noisy in this area, though. You gotta be really careful buying property here. I mean, one crazy season could completely wipe out all the profits you've accumulated in 10 years. And it's weird, but when I owned my restaurant, and my restaurant was where Kilwins was. It was the Lighthouse Sandwich Shop on Fort Myers Beach, right at Times Square. It was called the Lighthouse Sandwich Shop, right where Kilwins was. Wow, and was is a disturbing word, because before Hurricane Ian, I was kind of kicking myself. I'm like, I should have kept that business. I should have made it. I wanted to put an ice cream store in there, and 2,000 Flavors moved in at the same time. I was just about to sell, and I was like, look at them, they stole my idea. And they had a good location, and bingo, 2,000 Flavors is still in business. And Kilwins got wiped out because it was a wooden structure. But 2,000 Flavors bought into a building, and we can see them coming up here. They bought into a building that was made out of concrete block, and it survived. And you can see if they're open. All right, so Lighthouse Sandwich, the Lighthouse Resort, they're open, and the tiki bar underneath it is packed. No, see, 2,000 Flavors, they're still there. They opened in 1989, like in the summer of '89, and they're still there, but they're not open. Sad, they should be open. It's like buying them now. That'd be a great real estate office. You gotta check it out now. All right. Look here. I found 60 cents where I parked. My bicycle fell over. I was pissed. And I was picking up my bicycle, and my attention changed to the money on the ground. I was like, what? Where's all this money? I was looking for brothers and sisters, so I found 60 cents altogether. I'll spend more of that, though, on a battery. Well, I need a battery. I'd probably let my battery go for maybe another week or two, but that's about it. It's best to get it done now. There's a little building on the right-hand side, totally wiped out. It's landlocked though, so, and the roof definitely has to be redone. Let's face it, the whole building needs to be knocked down. But it's one of those investor buildings, you know. That's the type of gambling you could do if you have an extra $150,000 lying around. And that's to buy the building. It's going to take another $50,000 to $75,000 minimum, and that's if you do the work, times 2 if you hire a contractor. And if you hire a contractor, expect the worst work done. Those contractors, I'm telling you, they do the worst work in this area. They'll fill you up with these empty platitudes all they want, saying how much they care, they'll do a great job, they're the best in the business, blah, blah, blah. When they finish doing the work, you look at it, it's subpar. Worse than what you could have done with no experience whatsoever. It's sad. It's all empty platitudes by contractors in this area. fishing fleet is still out. I see a lot of boat slips that are open. There are some fishing boats that are there, but the fishing fleet that I know that docks by the fish houses, they're not there right now. So a lot of these fishing boats look like they're moored there permanently, like they're in, like not dry dock, but they're just moored onto the dock and they're forgotten about. And I can say that because they have a lot of rust. I'm going over Barnacle Bills. They have 2 big boats that are like crashed in the dock. One of them they haven't removed because it's giving the Bonita Bills, not Barnacle Bills, Bonita Bills a little what's it, atmosphere? People like to see that crashed boat there. That $175,000 boat crashed that hasn't been claimed by its owner or hasn't been removed. Terrible. I mean, you couldn't have crashed the boat in a better spot. I mean, it's like ideal for like an attraction to attract people. I don't think people want it removed. Next hurricane will take that boat and we'll send it a mile inland. There's a house down there that's got a metal roof. The metal roof was a steel roof. It survived, but the wooden structure underneath it, forget it. It's like toothpicks holding up a steel roof. Sell their boat for $40,000. The boat's been like completely destroyed. What call? $40,000. Come on. Maybe that's how much the insurance paid. Look, someone wants to sell it for $11,000. Southern lady. Huh, good one. $17,000. Wow, what a scam. They're trying to sell these damaged beyond repair boats. I mean, nope, you can't even get to the inboard motors. Anyway, the inboard motors have been destroyed. Ridiculous. What a scam. No. I mean, you got to be really criminal to think of an enterprise like that. To buy completely destroyed boats for $17,000? Wow, what a scam! Again, that property medic building over on the right. You know, that's been like that for 6 months. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had to make a 2-part because I had to stop at a garage sale, and it'll probably take me almost till next week to get the video live. But anyway, hope you guys had fun.